Hello, tubers! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm guest designing again for iCrafter, and I'm going to be using this mini album accordion die. Isn't this cool? It's going to be very nice. So it comes with all of this stuff. Now it doesn't come like this. It comes just on the card. I always take my dies and I put a piece of magnetic sheet on the back of the card they come on, and then I put them together like this. I am probably going to take all the word dies off, and the word dies it comes with you, and today, and me, and happy, and adventure, and this little like license plate thing that says, it's upside down, it says this is, and it comes with an and comes with a hashtag, and it comes with a heart, and it comes with a little arrow. Those are the decorative pieces. It comes with this, which looks like a piece like you tore it out of a notebook. And the rest of this is the die that actually makes the mechanism to make the mini album. So I'm gonna show you this today, and it's important for you to see that what you're basically buying when you buy this die, Pascal's done, he's bored. You're buying a binding system, and that's what I really want you to think about today. I really want you to think about you're buying a binding system. So I used to make all kinds of books, okay, and literally used to bind them with, like, you know, wax thread and a needle, and I used to have to make signatures and things like that. Well, that's what this is. It is a signature maker. Aha. So, are you ready? Let's get down to business. Okay, and let's get started here. So, these are the main parts of the die. So this part cuts your signature. So this part here is 5 inches this way and 4 inches this. It's 5 1/4 this way and 4 inches this way. So it only cuts around the outside, and this part here, and it cuts this part in the middle. So this part cuts a hole in the middle of your whole signature, okay? And this part cuts it around the outside, and then you can fold the paper in the half, and it makes a signature, okay? So it only makes a page. You can put 2 of them together if you really want, so you'll end up with like 12 pages or 24 pages in a little book, or in a little album. This is if you want to make the mini album, okay? So this actually makes a little page so that you can mat each page of your signature. So see that? So it mats the page, and you can cut it out, makes it easy. Just remember that if you've got directional paper, you're gonna have to flip it over because the corners are rounded, okay? So see that? See that there? Okay. Now, this is your binding mechanism. You're like, Cinderella, it looks like a square to me. So what this does is it cuts out the square, and then these are embossing lines. And what it makes is it makes a piece of paper. Okay? So we're going to say that it's this piece of paper, all right? I'm going to show you how to make this. What you do is you cut out 3 of these to make a binding mechanism. And as I said in the first part of the video, I want you to think about the fact that this is a binding mechanism, okay? And you can make anything you want. Today we're going to make a planner, not just a mini album. You can make whatever you want, okay? So you cut out 2, and I'm going to say, you cut out 3 pieces of paper. So you cut out 2, and then you cut out 1. You're going to fold 2 of them. So the 2 orange ones here, if you notice the 2 orange ones, I've already glued this one together because today's been a really hard filming day. You fold the 2 orange ones, the 2 outside ones, so they look like W's. See, there's one W. Why, look, here's another orange one. It looks like a W. Then you fold the middle one. So see this middle one right here? This middle one is gonna look like an M. Do you see that? Do you see how that middle one looks like an M? And then you glue the M to the W's. See that? M, you're going to glue to the W's. And when that happens, you're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 things in the middle and 2 flanges on the outside. And this is your binding mechanism, okay? So this is what you're going to put in the middle of your book. Now, if you're doing a little tiny book, you need 1. If you're doing a slightly larger book, you need 1. If you're doing a really tall book, you might need 2, but I haven't tried that yet. But remember, what you're buying is a binding mechanism, okay? If you were gonna do a paper pad that you wanted to like lift the cover on, you could put it up at the top of the pad of paper and do it this way and have long pieces of paper that went like this. It's a binding mechanism. Remember to think about it that way. So when you put this into your thing, these, which end up looking like this, go inside the little holes once you've got this in place and you've got your signatures in place, and they get put in like this. And that keeps your signatures in. You're going to see this in a minute, okay? Because I'm going to show you a little book that I made. This here is my color swatch book, okay? So I made this, just to see how the thing worked, out of this die, okay? Now this is exactly the right size, okay? So, and what I did was, this, by the way, is the Heather alphabet. This is the lowercase ones. I have uppercase ones too, but this is the lowercase ones. Little color swatch on there, colored with my markers, okay? And this is my Pink Fresh Studio inks, in case you wanted to know. So this is a signature. See? This is a signature. Now, I might want to change the page. So here's, this is the M. This is actually one of the W's because it's on the side, okay? If I want to, I can take this page out and I can redo it if I want, okay? Here's the signature, here's the binder right there, okay? Here is the mat right there. So I'm gonna do this, I did this in a very different way because I wanted the thing to be removable. So what I didn't do is I didn't glue any of this down. I made these removable. And if you're gonna, we're gonna do that again today for our planner as I show you. There we go, goes this way. Okay, so that I'm gonna show you how you can take these in and out and make them so they're in and out takeable. Because it's easier to put your signatures in and out when they're not in the book, okay? But, see, as I said, it cuts the signature, and then there's a hole in the middle, and you take this. It's always good to see where we're going, you know, when we're making this. All right? And then, this is not behaving. Why? Because I'm on video, that's why, okay? Put that through there, take this, put this through here, et voila! That keeps the signature from coming off of the binding mechanism. And so this is what a mini album would look like. Well, if you bound it in cardboard, which is what we're going to do today. Now, I'm going to show you, this is the original journal that I made for me. And it's got all kinds of things in it. It had a pocket in it. It's got the binding mechanism. These are the sheets that it had in it. And this is the bird poop all over the back. So, yep, we're not going to do that one anymore. We're going to make a new one today. But I made my own pages. So this is simply an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and I laid it down on my cutting mat, and this is 4 3/4 inches long, And I took a ruler, and right smack in the middle, I took my cutting thing and I went right down the middle of the signature. Okay, now obviously I didn't cut it out because I want the pieces of my signature to be this big for my planner / journal. Okay, so I made myself a calendar. Okay, it's a little, you know, I got October and November backwards in there, but then I've got November and December on the back. I keep track of how much water I've drunk, and today is the 6th, and I've actually managed to have all of my water today. Yay! So that's when I'm doing this. This is card ideas. You don't need to look at that, but I keep track of card ideas and things that I need to do there. There's also, oh, I know it's on the inside of here. So exercise, I need to exercise 4 times a week according to my doctor, my social media posts, and when I post things, I need to post today, later today. And then the last thing that I do in my planner is I keep lists of things that I need to remember to do for the next couple of weeks. And this is just copy paper, you know? And so when I need new copy paper, I can just, you know, slice it down the middle and stick it in the back. So that's why we're doing this differently, okay? So how do you make, I'm going to show you how to make the mechanism and how to make the outside. So what do you need to do this? So first of all, you're going to need, to make a planner, you're going to need your binding mechanism from the mini album Accordian. You're going to need a bone folder. You're going to need a big pair of scissors. You are going to need 2 pieces of chipboard, piece of old cereal box, piece of old soda carton box, something that is 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. You want it to be just a little bit bigger than your signatures so that it protects your signatures. Okay, just a little bit bigger than your signatures. All right, there you go. You're going to need 4 pieces of patterned paper. All right, you want 2 pieces that match. I had 2 pieces of this, but I've already made 1/2 of the book. So anyway, so you're not going to use all 4 12 by 12, all 4 12 by 12 sheets of paper, but you are going to use basically 2 of them completely up. And then you're going to use 1/2 of one for the spine and 1/2 of one for the pockets, for the end notes on either side of the pages. So one of them's going to be the end notes, one of them's going to be the spine, and one of them's going to be the cover of your book. All right, so that's what you're looking for. All right, now you are also going to need some glue. And let me show you the glue. All right, the kind of glue you're gonna need is Aleene's Tacky glue. While Barely Art glitter glue is a great glue, it also dries flexible, which is wonderful for cards, really good for cards, not so good for bookmaking. One of the things that you learn when you're a bookmaker is you want a glue that is going to dry rigid. So Aleene's Tacky glue, great stuff, okay? If you have a pattern like mine, so this is the cardstock that the pattern paper that I already used. If it has a pattern that has a line on it, one of the things that you're going to want to do is we're going to want to stick this down sort of in the middle, but we also want it lined up. So get out your little liney ruler, and you're going to want to stick it most of the way over, but also lined up. Okay, so that it's straight on the paper. All right, so you want it sort of in the middle. You want this lined up. You want that lined up. And now, you don't really need to turn it over if you don't want to. And now what you want to do is you want to put your glue, tappy, 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 tap. Oh, come on, glue. I had it sideways. So in order to put glue down, what bookbinders know is that glue is a major part of the binding of a book because the glue helps the cover become rigid, okay? You didn't know that, but I do because I've been bookmaking I was bookmaking a long time before I was card making, all right? So you want to push the nib of your glue onto the page. Notice I'm putting down a lot of glue, but I'm also holding the tip of the glue right onto the cardboard so that it's not leaving big glops in any one place, all right? Because if you do it, it's going to be bad. So keeping your ruler even, you want to put this down, I'd say somewhere between 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from the edge of the paper, the left-hand side of the paper, okay? And you're gonna smear that down. You're gonna get that down kind of nice and even, okay? There we have it. Once you think it's down nice and even, you're gonna take your bone folder and you're going to rub that on, okay? And what you're doing when you rub this on from the other direction is you're spreading the glue onto all over the cardstock. You're spreading it more evenly between the two pieces of paper, and you're also binding by pushing the really big piece of cardstock of chipboard to the piece of paper, okay? Helps to use more heavy weight. No, we do not need to score anything because this is done with folding and pushing, okay? All right, now we're going to do some folding and pushing. You want to make sure that you fold this right up against the edge of the chipboard as tight as you can, right up against the edge of the chipboard and all the way across on all 4 sides. Luckily, I've already done this for the other thing, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, see, so when it's done, it's gonna get all wrapped up. Okay, so we don't have to worry about any of the chipboard showing, which is very, very good. So I'm going to take little scissors, and now you've got 4 lines. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to cut this straight on the lines, okay? And then we're going to cut triangles or wedges out of the sides, okay? So we're cutting this wedge out of this wedge out of here. Excuse me, this is the 3rd time I've actually managed to, okay, now we're gonna end up cutting more of a triangle out of there, but I like to, it's the 3rd time I've recorded this video due to, my husband tried to help me with it, and instead of turning the camera on, he turned the camera off, so yeah, that didn't work well, okay? You don't want to cut it too close to this corner. You want to cut it right up to the corner. This is me having bound a lot of books. Okay, now you have a choice. We're going to end up putting a piece of paper over the top of this, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But for the most part, I like to put the long piece on the inside and the other pieces on top. Now, because of the way I'm gonna actually attach the signature to this book, this planner, it doesn't really matter because we're gonna add another piece on top of this, but it's good to get in the habit if you're gonna be making more than one book, okay? But I like to put this piece in first as it covers the most and it makes it the nicest and the flattest. And then you're gonna wanna put this over the top like that. Doesn't that look nice? Okay, So this involves more glue. There. All right, now we have, and now you're going to make another one just like that. However, I believe in you, and I believe you can do that. All right, now you're going to take your 1/4 inch strip. All right, you need, this is for your seam. All right, now, one of the things you want to do is you want to pick a side, any side, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to glue it down, I'd say about 1/8 of an inch away from the other piece of cardboard. All right? Okay. And what you're going to do, okay, don't put the glue on top of the, because A, what happens if you miss with the glue? And B, don't ruin your own project. It's a bad idea. It was just a bad idea. Yeah. So I'm gonna take this and we're gonna place it down. We're gonna move it back into the center of the camera. And so we're gonna place it down on our side. There we go. We're gonna take our bone folder. What happened to our bone folder? Oop, there it is. Okay. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to squish, and we're going to squish, and we're going to squish. Okay. Now, I'm going to have some extra paper here. Okay. So we're going to take this, and we're going to cut this off. All right. There we go. Now we're going to fit these two together. Okay. We're actually going to make sure we can do that. Okay. All right. There we go. And we're going to glue these two together. Okay. Like this. Same idea, you want it about 1/8 of an inch away. It doesn't really matter, but it does really matter. Okay, there we go. And now, again, we're gonna squish, and we're gonna squish. The only difference is this time we're gonna turn it over, because what we are doing is we're gonna have to seal the two of them together, okay? So now we have a book cover, and see, there's one side. Whoops, glue came off, and here's the other side. All right, and now you're like, but wait a minute, it doesn't match up. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to let that sit aside there for a minute to dry, and we're going to take this piece of paper, okay? Now, you have some choices here. You need to cut a piece of paper from this that is at least 4 inches wide. I am going to suggest that you make it at least 4, it has to be at least 4 inches wide to cover the binding of the book, okay? You can make it 3, but it's gonna be a little tricky, okay? I'll show you kind of what I mean. But for instance, if I cut this 3 inches out of the pattern, I'm probably going to make mine out of the middle of this, and it's probably going to be 4 1/4, and it's going to be right out of the middle of this pattern, okay? And you want it to be 12 inches long, because it has to go through the inside of the book as well. And then you're going to need another little piece of paper, because it has to go, you need at least 17 inches of paper, because it has to go through the middle of the book as well. So you want 2 pieces of paper, but the stuff that's going to go on the inside, underneath where this is going, doesn't matter. All right? So everybody off to cut their paper, and we'll be right back. Ooh, here we are. Okay, now this is the strip that's going to be for my binding. And this is the strip that's going to be inside the binding. So basically what you want to do is you want to have it even on both sides. Now, do you see what I mean? That it's going to go evenly on both sides. All right, so you want to even that out. All right, one of the things that I really like to do is I like to fold this one before I actually glue it down, because this one takes a lot of time. There we go. All right. So this is from another piece of the paper, but you can see that it kind of goes in the middle here. So this is why I like to do this. All right. So that's what you want to make sure of. So this piece of paper, so this is a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper, 12-inch piece of paper that's 4 and a little bit. And this piece of paper is, let's see, 6.5. All right. And now, wrong glue. Da-da-da, this glue. There we go. But this one of the things you're going to do is you're going to push down in the spine. And one of the things you're doing is you're making a place for the book to fold, but you're also making a lot of place where the book will have reinforcements, so as you fold it, it's not going to break. You know, so now there's 2 layers, 3 layers. There's going to be 3 layers of glue there before it actually, paper and glue, before it will actually break. So again, we're going to make this even. I'm going to push this down. I like to do it this way because same idea. And, you know, make those creases. What you're doing is you're making the cover, okay? All right. See? Making the cover. Now, on this side, here we go. So literally, you're not going to want to do this on the back side because that's your spine. Just on the inside because that's where you want it to fold, okay? So you're just reinforcing the fold lines, okay? And there we have it. Look at that. There's our cover, okay? So there's your cover, all right? And now we're going to make the binding, which is the best part. Oh my God, it's so much fun. Okay, so I've actually already made these dudes, okay? So I already have these. So I'm going to go off. And as I said, you want 4 of these. And you want 4 of these, 3 of these. So go off and cut 3 of these. I'll be right back. Out of that 4th piece of paper. All right, here we go. And we're back. So here are my 3. So as I said, we are going to fold 2 of them into W's. Here we go. 2 of them. I'm going to take the ruler. By the way, in case you ever wonder, Jesse G. Hafer was my father. Yeah. Great guy. Great guy. Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. There's one. Here's another one. It helps if you do this out of like heavier weight cardstock. This, by the way, was a paper pad that I bought, I think in 2017, and it was called Persian Blues or something. That's not a W, that's an M. Okay, so let's make this one a W. So 1 M, 2 W's. There we go. Now, here's the cool thing about this. And for this, I'm going to use the regular glue. So, you put the glue on one side of the W, and then you put the M on the inside. So I'm not doing this, and then you fold them together. And when you fold them together, they become one. So good. Okay, look, perfect. All right, so you put the glue on one side of the W. There you go. And you put it inside the M. And you fold them together, and they become one. Oh, so nice. Look at that. Look, 4 bumps and 2 flanges. Now, how are we going to get this to attach to this? Let me show you. This is like the coolest thing. So one of the things I discovered in making a planner is I've also discovered that taking pages in and out of these albums works best when you can take the whole unit out, and then you can like keep making things, okay? So in order to do that, we need to be able to remove this, all right? So this is gonna go right in the middle, like right about here. But how are we gonna keep it in while also being able to have it removable? Well, we're gonna put end papers into our book, all right? Like this, and we're going to use double-sided tape for this. Yes, we are. We're going to use massive double-sided tape. So I have a roll of super duper double-sided tape for this. Now, this is the way that I did this. You can do you. You can also glue it down, but I find that this works best. Okay, so you want to sort of find the middle point. And then you want to kind of put tape around that. All right. Now, my type is terrible. Terrible, not terrible. It's not awful tape. It's very nice tape, but it is possible to be torn. So, although frankly, it is better if you cut it. So, let's see what happens if I cut it. Okay. Although don't cut your foam tape, because if you cut your foam, don't quit your day job, Cindy Ellen. Okay. Oh. Okay. And now we're going to take this over here, and we're going to do this over here so you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, now you can see that this is not very wide. So one of the things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do this, okay? So that it actually stays in there, all right? There you go. Yeah, and then you just fill in with the tape. All right. Yeah. All right. What you say? You can do this on your own? Oh, you probably can. I believe in you. I really do. So, I don't know how many of you have birds, but we're working on a new set of birds. So we used to have Sam, who was a severe macaw. In case you want to know, severe macaws are the smallest of the macaws. So he was about, from tip to tail, was about 12 inches long. And he was a hoot. All of our birds have amazing personalities. And I started getting birds because when I was a runner and a hiker, I could handle, we used to have Vizslas, which are somewhere between 40 and 60 pound dogs. And I used to run a lot, so they're very active dogs as well. And so they need a lot of exercise, and that was fine and great. And then we got smaller dogs, and we have a smaller dog now. Her name is Maggie. And we had a Jack Russell for a while named Toby, who I still miss, but they would throw themselves on me and knock me over and hurt me, and that does not work well with my chronic illness. I'd end up with lots of bruises and be like, where'd you get that bruise? I don't know, probably a dog. But when 2 ounces flies into you, even Sam doesn't. Sam weighed 7 whole ounces. Ooh, big bird. But Pascal weighs 2 ounces, and each of the parakeets weighs about 3/4 of an ounce. So birds are mostly fluff. And the term bird brain is very right on. So I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm hoping you can see this. So here's our thing. Here's the little patch right here. And we're going to put this in our book right up against the edge like that. Okay? And I'm going to go off of here while I do the other one. And then I'll show you how we put this in here. See, and then you just slide that in there like that. And I very specifically did my mechanism and my end pages in the same paper. So I don't know how you feel about that, but I thought it was a pretty cool thing. And then when I come back, I'll have the second end page in, and I'll show you how to put everything together. Okay, we are back. I should throw my garbage away. Okay, all right, here we go. Where are the rest of my strips? They're in here somewhere. Okay, now let's show you what we've got here. So now we're gonna put these together. Ready? Here we go. So we're gonna take our mechanism. Now we're going to take our pages, however you've made them, push it down to the bottom. You're going to take your strip with however you've made it. I'm going to suggest that if you're going to make it for a planner, that you double them up so that you have them nice and sturdy. Take your next page on the next lump. You're going to put it on your planner strip, on your mechanism. Okay, where is it? I'm doing this sort of blind here. There it is. Get your strip. Put it together. There it is. There we go. Close close it up. Get your next planner page. No, I mean, this is how easy this is to put together. Okay, where are my strips? Here's one. Why, here's one now. Okay. There we go. And last but not least, here's this one. Okay. And now that we have them all put together, see, now here's the basic journal. Now, because we left that little pocket, we can tuck that in there. Then we're going to take this and we're going to tuck this into the other pocket, which is right in here. Come on. Okay, because as I said, it's much easier to put the pages in when they're like this. Now, there we go. Oh, they're sticking out the bottom. There we go. There we go. And there's our planner. Now, it's still a little funky because it's not quite dry yet. But as you use it, it gets nicer. Now, I also want to show you some other things that I made. So I have this clip. This is the today word. And I just took it, I made it out of some paper, and I glued it onto an alligator clip. So I can take the calendar pages and I can put that on there, and that tells me where the calendar is. You know, this is water and exercise, and I can put this. This is here. I could put this, you know, wherever I want, you know, if I want to do this. So, you know, and I just, you know, you can make whatever you want with the kit. You know, if this is important, you know, you can put these in here. I also made one with the heart die. I just cut it out a couple of times and I used another little heart die for there. You know, if something's coming up that you need to remember in the back of your planner, you can put this on here, you know, and have this sticking out the top. So, I mean, it's just like any planner, and you can use those mini things, you know, that mini accordion album to make all kinds of things. On my other planner thing, I had made a pocket because I like to put one of my credit cards in here, or like my debit card, and then just carry this part, and then I don't have to do another thing. I might end up doing that, but frankly, I'm kind of done for today. So yeah, so now you got the idea. You know, you can use all your own things to make your own planner. You know, I use my own markers. I've used my own stamp set. This Keep It Up, You're Amazing came from a Concord 9th set. This is, as I said, this is the Heather alphabet from iCrafter. My own, that's from the adventure from the set itself, from the mini accordion album. So you can use what you've got. Not a bad thing. So I hope you enjoyed this. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Hope you got something out of it. Look up iCrafter. Look up the die set. I hope you liked it, and I hope you think outside the die box. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.